What's up, you guys? It's Optimal, and today we'll be opening up Blue Eyes White Destiny Structure Deck. I'm so happy that finally Blue Eyes got some more legacy support, and one of my disappointed about is that these things don't come with playmats anymore, but I managed to dig out the OG playmat, Sage of Blue Eyes White Dragon. So, I'm really hyped about all the new cards we're getting, and it's finally making Blue Eyes more competitive now. Oh, and by the way, the structure decks are set up, it's better to open them up from the bottom. That way you can have easier access to get the cards. So, let's see what our promo is. And we got a secret rare, Wishes for Eyes of Blue, which is nice. So, I'm just going to go ahead and only open up one of these bad boys, because the other ones, you really are only looking for the promo. So, let me see if how to open this up. They still have the little tab. Okay, there we go. So, okay. Our first new card is Indigo Eyes Silver Dragon. Essentially, it's almost like a Destiny Hero Plasma, where it negates all your opponent's face-up cards, and it special summons back a Blue Eyes White Dragon and turns it into a huge beast stick. That's right. On to the next new card that we have is Spirit with Eyes of Blue. So this card essentially makes Mausoleum of White a more useful card, because usually in a Blue Eyes deck you wouldn't run Mausoleum of White, but now that this card makes it more accessible and searches it out, it just makes it more playable in the deck. Another cool thing about this card is that you can tribute it off to special summon one Blue Eyes monster from your hand or graveyard, so it helps you special summon out your Blue Eyes. And finally, we have the new Maiden of White, a retrain of the original card, which is this card allows you to make Sage of Eyes of Blue into a one card combo. And then her effect is way better than her OG effect. She allows you to basically take a True Light from your hand, deck, or graveyard and place it into your spell and trap card zone. And she can also bring herself back if you manage to bring out a Blue Eyes, so which is awesome, more bodies on board. Right, on to the next card, we have Wishes for Eyes of Blue. This card is essentially a searcher. It allows you to discard a card, add one light tuner from your deck to your hand, and a spell card, and you're mainly going to be adding the new spells and traps that this structure deck provides. And then lastly, our new epic boss monster, Blue Eyes Ultimate Spirit Dragon. Let me just take these cards off on the side. Okay, so essentially what this card does is it gives you an Omni Protection, and it stops your opponent from banishing cards from graveyard, so it stops Call by the Grave. And if your opponent tries to use any Buy-Steal cards against you, it basically shuts them down. It also becomes a huge beast stick by gaining attack. And then we have a retrain of Neo Kaiser Seahorse. We have Roar of Blue Eyes Dragons. We have Majesty of White Dragon. So these are the two new cards you're mainly going to be searching off of. Let me get the secret rare version of it. Wishes for Eyes of Blue. Right, we have the OG Blue Eyes White Dragon, and it's kind of sad that in the new competitive version of the Blue Eyes deck, you only run 2 Blue Eyes, which is kind of a crime because I'm so used to running 3, even though it mainly made you brick. So you're not a true Blue Eyes player if you've never bricked before. But it's kind of cool that you get 3 different artworks of Blue Eyes. Personally, my favorite has to be the OG, and then this would be my second favorite one. Alright, so we have Blue Eyes Alternative White Dragon, and I'll explain this later, but if you should pick up a copy of Neo Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, because it has good synergy, because you would essentially equip it onto one of your Blue Eyes monsters and then send it to graveyard, and you would have some added protection. But that's neither here or there. So we have Blue Eyes Alternative Dragon, a nice reprint right here, and Blue Eyes Jet Dragon. Remember, that was expensive. And you get a lot of cool reprints, such as Blue Eyes Abyss Dragon, Dragon Spirit of White. I remember these cards being expensive. And it's always nice to see all these amazing reprints. Blue Eyes Chaos Max, Blue Eyes Chaos Dragon, that was also expensive. White Stone of Legends, and then White Stone of Ancients. I remember when these cards were really good to run in the deck. And then one of the best cards that you can get in the structure deck, Sage with Eyes of Blue, makes everything into a 1-card combo. And, oh shoot, you actually get 3 copies. Actually, that's really great. So, and then we have Master with Eyes of Blue, Dictator of D, well, 2 Dictators of D. And you also get some really good staples in here, such as Nibiru the Primal Being, Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, Effect Veiler, ×2. You get Chaos Form, Ultimate Fusion, which is nice. You have Melody of Awakening Dragons. I remember you would always have to run this and trade in to get enough consistency inside the Blue Eyes deck. Otherwise, you would always be bricking super hard. So two Awakenings and then Mausoleum. Sadly, you only get 1, so you probably have to pick up 2 more structure decks. We have Burst Stream of Destruction. There's the classic trade-in to make your deck actually function. We have a Call by the Grave. Nice reprints. True Light. We have the Ultimate Creature of Destruction. We have Destined Rivals. Infinite Impermanence, another great reprint. Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, the original. And this is the one that I was telling you guys about. So let me see if I can dig the card back out. There we go. So not a lot of people know this, but essentially the Neo Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, it's 3 alternative dragons fused into that. So just some interesting card lore if you guys didn't know. And Blue Eyes Twin Burst Dragon, this is essentially alternative dragon again, but you take 2 of them, fuse them together to summon this. Blue Eyes Tyrant Dragon, such a great reprint because this is essentially what allows you to send your Neo, you tribute this off, and then because you tributed this card off of this, this gives you protection in graveyard for one of your Blue Eyes monsters. We have Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon. Another interesting card fact, the new boss monster is essentially 3 of these going into this, because if you look at the artwork, they just look so similar, which is pretty cool. And then this allows you to tribute it off, and then allows you to special summon this from your extra deck. So gives you more Omnigate. It lets you to have the Omnigate on field. We have the Azure Eyes Silver Dragon, and then Hieratic Seal of the Heavenly Spheres. So essentially that's pretty much it for the structure deck, and I just gotta say it's really solid. And let's just get right into it and see what our other promos are. Hopefully we can pull a QCR, or I'm hoping one of the Maidens as a secret rare, or maybe Mausoleum as an ultra, because that's actually going for a pretty penny. So let's see here. Alright, so let me take that out, and let's see what the promo is. And we got Maiden of White as a secret rare. Okay, that's nice. Okay, so we have, I'll leave the secret rares out here on the side. Still no QCR. I think it's 1 QCR per case, if I'm not mistaken. But I'm really hoping I want to keep one of these boxes because they just look so cool. And I'm not sure. I like the minimal packaging. And we got Blue Eyes Ultimate Spirit Dragon as a secret rare. So we got 1 of each of the new cards. Okay, I gotta say we're lucky. But overall, I hope you guys enjoyed the opening and unboxing. And stay tuned because I did order 4 boxes of Quarter Century Rare Stampede. So I hope you guys look forward to that. And we'll catch you guys later.